Let's go and do a quick recap and cover some of the important points that we talked about throughout this module. So first of all, we talked about understanding the Azure global infrastructure. We took a look at the different regions and the capabilities within those regions and how to look those up. So remember that as you're deploying your resources in Azure, you'll need to scope those to a particular region. Inside regions, we've got availability zones, and we've got basically the concept of geographies around the world where we can keep our data within those same geographies, such as North America and things like that. We talked about the idea of availability sets. Remember, availability sets were the original high availability construct for Azure. That gives us the ability to make sure that our servers are in different fault domains within a single data center. As we're moving forward here and the platform is advancing, we now have availability zones, and we took a look at that and the fact that we can actually put servers in different physical locations and different availability zones within a single Azure region. And as time goes on, we'll have availability zone supports in pretty much every Azure region. And for now, we're still kind of waiting on a lot of those regions to go live. Some are in preview, and there's just a handful as I record this that support availability zones. So check the documentation as you're architecting your solutions and rolling things out. We talked about key Azure services that support high availability and availability zones. So things that work with virtual machines, Windows and Linux servers, load balancers, and public IP address resources. Azure Storage, we took a look at all those different services that natively support high availability. So remember, you can use those as you architect your highly available applications. We discussed the concept of Azure paired regions. So remember that each region always has kind of like a preferred partner to work with. And that's going to be very interesting in those scenarios where you want to build a highly available application across two different regions. And when it comes to designing your application using patterns and practices recommended from the Azure team, make sure you check out the Azure Architecture Center. We took a look at that and saw some of the high availability reference architectures available for you as you build out your designs. So that completes this first module on some of the basics around high availability. We're going to dive in deeper. In the next module, we're going to get started with working with load balancing in Azure. And we'll see you in the next module.